connecting to the real nerds is so easy. You can go to our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can like us on Facebook. We have a Twitter account, @RealNerds. We also have Instagram. You can call us, 720-6nerds5. You want to email us? You can do that too, realnerds@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the show. Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast at Denver Comic-Con 2017 and beyond. I am Ryan. With me, as always, is
James
and
Zach.
I guess Zach's now really part of our team, which is kind of a bummer, but whatever.
He just shows up sometimes.
I know. Jeez.
He's just texting me like, "Hey, what time are we recording?" Fuck, god damn it.
No, I was...
Why did I give him my number?
I didn't do it sooner. I was like, oh, yeah, we should probably let Zach post on our website and shit.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, on Facebook, because all of a sudden the story's worse than that. So Henry wrote another article this week, and I saw it go up, and I was like, oh, I need to share this because it's not on our page. And I was like, there's got to be a way I can make it so that I don't have to do this, right? Like, me clicking this button is really annoying. So how about I figure out how to just let Henry do it?
I have to move my finger one more time.
I'm going to be so pissed.
Exactly, yeah. So now they can just do that. Now they can just run amok all over the site.
Every week, the Real Nerds go see a new movie, and we podcast our experience of the world. This week, we actually saw two movies. Well, James saw one, and everybody else saw another one. James pulled a Ryan.
I did. Yeah, but I warned you about it. Mm-hmm. But I'll explain why when we get to the review, yeah. So I went and saw Pete's Dragon.
Yeah, and
you guys went and saw the
Sausage Party.
Yeah, we did.
So stay tuned to the end of the show, and we'll review both of those films.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about them. We also talk about movies we've been watching throughout the week. Movie news, movies that are coming out on Blu-ray. So I got Microwave Massacre a day early.
What? I know, you said it on Facebook, and I was like, dude, Amazon's going to get in trouble.
I know, that's what I was thinking. But it can't be their fault. It has to be the...
Screen Factory?
No, it's actually an Arrow one, but it has to be the post office. Because I got a text from Amazon saying it wouldn't be here till Tuesday.
Oh, yes, right.
And so, but I came home and it's like, your package of Microwave Massacre has been delivered.
Yeah, they probably didn't realize that it might get there faster than they predicted.
Yeah. Well, because
Which are, okay, not a big deal. It's not like it's Uncharted, or a PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something where the studio is actually going to matter that much or care that much.
Meanwhile, the head of Arrow is just going like, Microwave Massacre got released early to who?
That's the other thing. It's Microwave Massacre.
I have no idea what it's about, but I bought it solely on the name alone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I do that every once in a while with Scream Factory ones.
And we'll get to it later. The cover's a good reason to buy it, too.
Yeah. Well, I watched a Scream Factory one this week because of the cover.
Yeah. Oh, so excited. I know about this one.
It's called Destroyer.
Are we doing this?
Okay, this is the stuff we've been watching.
This is the stuff we've been watching.
So this week I watched a movie called Destroyer.
Yeah.
If 3,000 volts couldn't kill him, nothing will.
Is this the one? This is the one with the big muscly dude who's holding a jackhammer?
A skeleton and a jackhammer.
Okay, yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
It looks like it should be a 3D cover, like a holographic cover.
And then I'm like, man, this is like a slasher film, and the character design's cool because the poster is painted sweet.
That would be really cool if it was like a hologram where just the jackhammer moved.
That would
where
be
it was just
sweet.
like as you moved, it was like,
And I bet you're hoping that the skeleton-faced jacked dude shows up in this movie, right?
Oh, and then in the hologram, he could be fleshy and like a maniac, and then like Scully when the jackhammer's coming at you.
Yeah,
that's a cool cover. The movie's like the cover, right?
I'm going to disappoint everybody.
Oh no,
the skeleton-faced jackhammer guy does not show up in the movie
ever. It's not even. He's not like an extra in the back of a seat. Like he's just never there.
Nope.
Why is it the cover then?
Because the cover's cool and it makes you want to buy the movie.
Fair. All right. Sure. Yeah.
But in the movie stars Anthony Perkins.
It's like you think that marketing for horror movies is shallow and manipulative. I don't understand.
Anthony Perkins, really?
Anthony Perkins is in it. And actually, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not in it very much, obviously.
Does he have to break up the concrete with his own bare hands or something?
No, he's a movie director.
Okay.
And so let me set up the premise for
Does
this.
he ask for toasted cheese sandwiches?
Oh,
No.
Is it a horror movie about manipulative posters?
It would be sweet if it was.
Okay, sorry. We'll let
No,
you
it's
go
fine.
now.
So in it, Lyle Alzado, who is an old Bronco, he actually died of cancer like 3 years after this.
Oh, wow.
He plays like the villain in it,
Okay.
named something Ivan Moses.
Skullface.
Yeah, Skullface, because I don't remember his real name.
Sure.
And he gets sent to the electric chair, and he dies.
Yeah.
Or does he?
When he gets electrocuted, is like, do you see his skeleton like flashing inside his body like
that
an
would be
old cartoon?
sweet too, but it does not.
Damn it.
So does he? Well, but as he's dying, a riot breaks out in this prison, guys, and 33 inmates and 17 guards are murdered.
That's a really malicious number there.
Yeah, I think it's the
How
right
many-
number.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
The way you said it, I thought you were going to say like every 5 minutes somebody says like, but 33 people died.
No. So what happens is this prison has to be shut down.
Sure.
Except for some reason, the warden is still around, and the custodian Russell. And the only reason I know that is because he wears a shirt that says custodian on one side and Russell on the other.
Yeah.
And yeah, and so it's the stereotypical the warden is a bad guy. And so I don't know if Lyle Alzado's like stalker, like slasher guy is like a wraith or a ghost dude or what, but he's
It's like a ghoul, some kind of ghoul.
yeah, because his makeup's inconsistent throughout the movie. So there'll be times when he just looks like Lyle Alzado,
Sure.
and then the next time you see him, he has this really crappy like indentation on his head.
Yeah.
That you can see like they didn't blend in the makeup very well. And
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because it's in high definition why it looks worse.
Yeah.
And then the next time you see him, he's looks like kind of like a zombie, but still like really ripped, like Arnold Schwarzenegger ripped.
Yeah. Is it possible that he's like Buffy style, where like sometimes the ridge in his face comes out and he turns into a monster?
Maybe
that's
that's
the
what it is.
explanation?
Maybe.
Okay.
They never say it is, but maybe
Sure,
that's what the
no.
filmmakers were going for.
You don't need to. It's visual art, man. You don't need to explain.
Because
it.
when Scream Factory releases these gems, all they put is like the trailer on it.
Gotcha.
Because not all their movies obviously are going to put a lot of money into.
Yeah.
I mean, they put money into the restoration, obviously, but it's pretty cheesy. It's not unwatchable. I mean,
Yeah.
there is a jackhammer part in it. where
Okay. So the jackhammer shows up.
yeah, and it's pretty gruesome. So there's that.
Okay. Cool.
And
As long
Anthony
as there's some
Perkins is
jackhammer.
put in an electric chair, and he gets electrocuted so hard his eyeballs pop.
Oh.
So you have that, and then there's
Or Norman.
there's this gratuitous women in the shower scene where they're
Course,
naked and
'cause
fighting.
because it's a prison, and so it's got to be a co-ed prison.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
so
no,
it's a sequel to Hellhole.
yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
So no, Anthony Perkins is shooting a women's prison movie inside this prison.
Is it Arkansas Women's Massacre?
No, I wish. I forget. It's like Prison Dolls or something is the name of the movie he's shooting. And there's
Gosh.
literally a scene where
That's terrible.
5 or 6 women are just naked fighting.
Of course.
And what actually makes it funny is, so the lead actress in this movie
It's a lesbian fight. Call back.
of course, a lesbian fight. And so what makes it funny, though, is the lead actress in the film inside the film is giving Anthony Perkins' director a hard time, and she's a horrible actress.
Sure.
And so so the one guy says, like, well, I guess we're not shooting the shower scene. And I'm not joking. Anthony Perkins looks at the camera and he says, "No, people come here to see flesh. That's what we're going to give them."
Awesome. All right, at least he's aware.
That part, I was like, did I just watch that? So I rewound it. I'm like, sure as shit.
Wow.
He does so Zach knows you're a filmmaker.
Yeah.
So when you have a 3/4 shot on the actor, they're looking past the camera.
Yeah.
He's looking
Into it.
into it with one side, and it's pretty funny.
Oh, he broke the
So
he broke that fourth wall.
He did.
He didn't
Yeah.
break it. He smashed it with
He
a
did.
fucking hammer.
He did it so technically awesome.
Yeah.
That I was like, he knows he's in a piece of shit.
Well, yeah.
And he knows he's in it for just the money. And he gave this look, with the left side of his face, looking at the camera while his right one was still, looking past it. It was...
So he split the difference.
He
a little
did.
bit.
It's the most amazing piece of acting I've ever seen. I'm like, he's doing both performances at once.
Okay, so is the Bronco, because you said you couldn't remember his name, is his name the Destroyer?
Nope.
Is there someone called the Destroyer in it?
Nope.
Okay.
Yep. That's about it. Oh, the custodian's his dad.
Spoiler
Oh.
alert.
Spoiler.
Like that's the reveal is that
Yeah.
the custodian was my dad the whole time. How, is that?
Well, the writer of the movie is in this
Is
diner.
also a custodian.
You know, he's in the diner where crazy Two Fingers, I think's his name. I don't remember.
Crazy Two Fingers.
I would say, wouldn't tell him the story right away about why Destroyer Man doesn't die.
Yeah.
And then he finally does, and he says, "And you make sure you ask Russell. It's his daddy." And then lightning strike. I'm not even joking.
Wow.
This guy had to come from like Roger Corman or something.
Yeah, of course. That's
But
funny.
whatever. It's still fun. I mean, it's cheesy as shit, but it's one of those movies that's so bad that you have Anthony Perkins telling you it's a piece of shit.
Dude, Crazy Two Fingers would have been a good title.
Yeah.
And then whatever poster you make for Crazy Two Fingers would probably be cool too.
It's
I
just a
agree.
guy holding up a peace sign.
It's like it's like a confused guy trying to figure out how to count a bag full of apples. See, because he's only got 2 fingers.
I also watched a movie called...
It's like one on each hand. He's just pointing with
Okay,
both
guys, get
hands.
past Destroyer.
Sorry. All right. Yeah, we're moved on with the story. What else did you watch, Ryan?
Just kidding. I watched a documentary that's on Amazon Prime called Nintendo Quest.
Oh, yeah, right.
And it's about these guys, this one guy, who has 30 days to collect every original commercial release from the NES, the first Nintendo system.
Awesome.
678 titles. And he can't use the internet. He has to drive from
Okay.
game shop to game shop to locate these ones.
Fascinating.
And there is some Nintendo games that are almost impossible to find. The hardest one to find is called Stadium Games.
Huh.
And it was, I don't know if you remember the Power Pad, where you would run in place.
I wasn't
know.
born. I wasn't
Zach,
born.
you might, I don't
I
know.
do not
Zach's
remember the Power
younger than
Pad.
I am.
That's right. So the Power Pad, you would lay on the floor, and it had like the A and B button,
Okay.
and you would just run really fast on it, and your guy on the
Oh.
screen would correspondingly run.
It was DDR.
Exactly, before
Okay.
it
right,
came
yeah,
around.
Right, yeah.
So what happened with the Stadium Games is Nintendo saw it, and they're like, hey, we like that with our Power Pad, so we're going to buy that game, rebrand it as Track and Field,
Sure.
and whatever money they paid Bandai. But some of the Stadium Games cartridges got out. And
Okay.
they said in the documentary, this one Nintendo collector said that there's only 6 to 10 known copies that have the box in the world.
Wow.
And they're selling on eBay, they showed on documentary, $77,000 for this one game.
Jesus.
Holy shit.
So anyways, it's following this guy going through
Does
his
the guy
quest.
have $77,000?
No.
Okay. I was going to say, this documentary might end before it starts.
He was able to locate a copy of the game in Florida that had damage to the box, and the dude wanted like $4,500 for it.
Oh, okay.
So I'm guessing the 77,000 is like uncirculated, near mint,
right,
whatever
yeah.
it is.
Like,
Or mint would probably be
Right.
more apt term.
yeah.
And the documentary is interesting. The only problem I had with it is they didn't tell you how much he spent on the games. And I was
Oh.
reading an article about it. It's because the filmmaker didn't want people to focus on what he spent on these games. But I think that's pretty fascinating when, you
Yeah.
know, because they only mention the price of Stadium Games. And then the other ones, like this one he was really looking for, which was the Samson or something. Last Samson was his second most desired game.
Okay.
And they never said how much he paid for it.
Yeah.
And I think that's bizarre.
I can understand not talking about the price of all of them, but yeah, you talk about a couple of the first couple that are really cheap, where it's like, hey, I found
Yeah.
Mario Brothers. It's in okay condition. I paid 6 cents for it.
Exactly.
And then the top couple,
Yeah, just let me know.
in an American Pickers America, I feel like that's a thing that you should tell people, just because it's interesting, right? It's a layer of the entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting because this guy, he's really introverted, and he was kind of, forced to go out in the world and haggle for prices, and it's something he wasn't good at.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean-
yeah. So if haggling for prices is part of the entertainment too, then yeah, I need to know what the price is.
Exactly, because that's what I mean. They would go to stores,
Yeah.
and he said, "Okay, well, I want these, but will you take?" And he wouldn't even say. Like the thing would cut.
Oh, weird.
It's really bizarre.
Huh.
And I mean, some of the games I know are really rare, like DuckTales 2, Chip and Dale 2. There's a couple like really early original Nintendo ones that are pretty hard to find.
Yeah.
But he, it's an interesting journey.
Yeah.
And, I mean, to do it that way, I thought was really fascinating, not using the internet. Like, you couldn't even use the internet to go to game stores. He would have to find some other way around it.
He had to get like a yellow pages to find out
Exactly.
where all the game stores in
So,
his
I mean,
area
that
were.
part was fun. And because I'm a collector, I can relate.
Yeah.
Being a completist. And the filmmaker also won't let him use the games he already had, so he had to reacquire them.
Of course. Yeah, I would have assumed.
But, you know, some of them are pretty easy to find.
Right.
And,
Plus, the week beforehand, he went and sold them onto the pawn shop up the street. And
yeah, right. So it's a fascinating documentary. If you're a collector,
Cool.
it held my interest long enough.
Awesome.
And the last thing I watched today is It Happened One Night, which I have never seen before.
Yeah.
And it's a Frank Capra movie starring Clark Gable and Claudette Colbert. Mm-hmm. And the movie is pretty amazing. It's
Still holds up.
oh yeah, it's there's some lines in it that are so clever that you know I laughed out loud in an 82-year-old movie.
Right.
Where so the first time, so the premise is Claudette Colbert plays this lady named Ellen who's a spoiled brat.
Okay.
And she wants to marry this one guy, and her father already had it annulled because her father's super wealthy and he can do what he wants.
Okay.
So it opens with them on a yacht in Miami. And so she gets mad and she says, "You can't tell me what to do." And she jumps off the boat and swims away. And so she's trying to get back to New York because
She forgets who she is and falls in love with Kurt Russell.
Maybe Overboard is a remake of it. No, she doesn't forget who she is. She gets to, I guess she on shore in Miami where Clark Gable plays a newspaper reporter who is like a drunk guy, and his editor's always fed up with him, and he gets fired, but he doesn't tell anybody else. And he's like one of the boys, and they all love him. And it's a really clever movie. I think all Frank Capra movies are pretty great movies that I've seen. I haven't seen his non-classic ones, but I don't want to. Just like Hitchcock, you know. Once I get to like 65 with Hitchcock, I'm just going to decide I'm not going to watch any of his stuff.
Capra was one of the original message movie people.
Oh yeah,
Especially during the war, they commissioned him to essentially choreograph film and document the naval planes during World War II, like just training missions and actual missions and stuff like that. He went overseas and did it. Same with John Huston and a couple of other directors who were commissioned by the U.S. government. Some of their films are available, not all of them. But and then he went on and did It's a Wonderful Life and all those other films that we've come to know and love.
yeah. He just has a way of telling a story. I mean, some movies are timeless, and these movies like his are timeless. You know, I think it's 2 hours long. It moved really fast. The chemistry that Gable and Colbert have is amazing, and they have these just like funny moments. My favorite line in it is when Clark Gable meets Claudette Colbert's character for the first time. He says, "You're sitting on something that belongs to me," and implying her ass.
Yeah.
And she says, "I beg your pardon.
Dead
That
ass.
seat. I just fought for that seat. Get out of that seat." It's so. What's great about Capra in any of his films, even in It's a Wonderful Life or Mr. Smith Goes to Washington or whatever, he plays on those jokes and lets them build that way. What's really clever. So when Clark Gable says that to her, he lets the film like stay for a beat. He lets the audience catch up to what is implied and get away with it, and it's really fun.
Oh, that's cool.
And if you haven't seen it, it's a wonderful film. And there's a really fun interview with his son on it, talking about how Claudette Colbert hated the movie, and when she was done with it, she told her agent that she just finished the worst movie she's ever been in, and she asked for twice as much money, and she was only available for 4 weeks. So they shot that film in 4 weeks, and it went on to win Best Actress, Best Actor, Best Director, Best Picture, and one other one I forget in 1934. So maybe Best Film Editing, I don't remember, but it's a pretty clever little film.
But you
It won the Big Five.
Yeah, screenplay then, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You think it's a wonderful film?
It is a wonderful film.
Is it a wonderful life?
I needed you to say it again.
But it's cool because when Barnes & Noble had their 50% off Criterions,
Yeah.
I was looking for... I would just get ones that I heard a lot of good things about that I haven't necessarily seen, like The Kid. It Happened One Night. The next one I'm going to watch is The Night of the Hunter.
Oh, you're going to love Night of the Hunter.
I know. I heard it's like the greatest horror film of all time. We'll see. And
I really need to work
That's debatable, but it's a good movie.
I have 4 Criterion Charlie Chaplin films that I own that I've never watched that I really need to like. I need to devote myself to like a week where I'm gonna knock them off the list.
yeah, so I was doing my Disney thing, which I'm still doing. I'm up to Sala dos Amigos, but I think I might do this thing called Ryan's Vault, where I literally have, I think, 120 movies that I've bought that I haven't watched yet.
Yeah.
Not that I haven't seen,
Right.
but I've
You
purchased.
haven't watched the Blu-ray yet.
Haven't watched the Blu-ray, so I might put them all in like a box.
Oh,
and
yeah.
put live videos on. Like, this is what I'm watching today, and just pull one out.
Yeah. I have about 9 or 10 movies that I own that I've never watched. I've never seen. That I bought, because they're all movies sort of on my list of shame. So what I did to annoy myself, I turned them all on their spines so that they stick out about 1.5 inches off the shelf, just to make my Blu-rays look unsightly. In an effort to annoy myself to watch them, but it hasn't worked
Tell
too
you what,
well.
I'll just bring my kid over.
Right. Part of the problem is that about half of them are silent films, and I have to really like be in a place where I'm going to sit and this is all I'm going to do.
I will say this: the last few silent films I've watched, if they're classics,
Oh yeah.
it's easy. I mean, how long is Phantom of the Opera? 70 minutes,
Roughly.
maybe less.
75, I think.
But so
Yeah.
even like The Kid, I think is 75. I think at the most.
Right.
But the performances are so good. I mean, how old's the kid? 90 years old? 92 years old?
Close to that, yeah.
And it's a stunning film. So
I have the Criterion for Modern Times, City Lights,
nice.
The Great Dictator, and
On Blu-ray?
and one
And
more.
how do I get into your house?
You climb up the outside wall to the second floor balcony. You dodge the nest of wasps that are currently growing on the roof. And if you can get in the unlocked side door... Shit, I shouldn't have really said that. Everything I just said is completely true. God damn it.
Meet a guy named Hank. He'll take me.
I got The Great
DVD
Dictator on Blu-ray too when at the Criterion sale. I've seen it, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
My grandfather used to love those old movies, so a lot of them I've seen, but I don't.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you what they were about. And
And then I have Nosferatu and Hidden Fortress that I still have to watch as well.
Nice.
so yeah, that's what I watched this week.
Cool. Zach, what have you seen lately?
First of all, I wanted to correct myself. Capra served in the U.S. Army Signal Corps, and he produced the Why We Fight series.
Oh, okay, cool. So not the Navy.
I just didn't want
Same
to
deal.
leave that undone. I didn't watch much this week. I watched Suicide Squad.
What'd you think?
That movie's a mess.
Yep.
And, I want DCEU to work, but not if it's going to be this.
Well, I mean, the nature of wanting it to work means that it's not this, because this isn't working.
The cast is fine. They're just given very crappy material to work with, or they got chopped out of a very good movie.
Yeah.
I can't figure out which one it is.
To me, I think it's the editing.
Oh, yeah.
I think the editing's the biggest issue. I felt the same thing about Batman and Superman.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that could be it, but regardless, this is what we have for now.
Yeah.
And what we have for now is not promising.
Yeah.
The DCU's biggest problem is they don't let the filmmakers make their films.
Yep.
You can say that Marvel tampers with it, but when I close my eyes and I listen to Avengers, I hear Joss Whedon. When I close my eyes and listen to Thor, I hear Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah.
Big time. Because there is a scene...
There's a scene where two dudes yell at each other on steps, and then one of them goes into a coma because his heart breaks. That's the most Shakespearean-ass shit I've ever seen. Ah!
You can even go from there, and the scene where Loki and Thor are fighting, and Thor figures out Loki turned on him. It's towards the end. They're in that room that takes them to different places.
Yeah.
And
The Rainbow Bridge.
Yeah, Hiddleston's like crying while he's telling him why he's. And that's what I mean. You don't DCU. They come in and I've read on Hollywood Reporter, Variety, all these things that there is 3 different versions of this film. The first version that tested well was too somber, and DC freaked out about the tone of Batman, Superman, and the Man of Steel. They're like, oh, we need to lighten it up. They don't need to lighten it up if they tell a good story.
Right. I mean, and it as long as you are telling something character focused, and the thing that a lot of the launch movies for Marvel did well is, and we're not going to talk about this in news, so I'll talk about it now, is that they picked lame villains to be the villains of the first movies, so that way they could spend all their time setting up the character and making you like the character. Which is why when you tell me that the villain of Aquaman is going to be the biggest villain Aquaman, like the arch nemesis of Aquaman, I go, that movie's going to fucking suck, because you're going to take half the movie convincing me that Black Manta is amazingly bad. I don't give a shit.
I think visually, Black Manta's a cool character.
Oh, totally.
I think, because I asked Andrew, because I don't know anything about Aquaman except he talks to fish.
Yeah.
And he told me that he's not that great of a villain.
What I would say is this. You could put the character in there, yeah, but you make that guy like Hydra, right?
Yeah.
Like make him a guy who pops up, and he, like near the end you find out that whoever the real villain or the villain of the movie is was working for Black Manta the whole time. Because the only time Marvel's ever done that was Red Skull, and honestly, Red Skull's not as cool in the movie as he should be. Like Red Skull's kind of disappointing.
And I've said this many times on this show. Marvel's heroes are better than DC's heroes because they're better characters. DC has great villains.
Yeah.
I would argue.
But it's not that you can't make good characters out of those characters. Like
that's
you
what I mean.
could tell good stories.
But
sorry, Zach, we've totally hijacked your.
That's totally
but
fine.
you can say so. The first Iron Man, the end fight is like whatever between Ironmonger and Iron Man. But what makes a fight great is Obadiah Stane's relationship with Robert Downey Jr.
Right. Yeah, because it's a good character-driven movie.
Exactly. That's all they need to do.
Yeah. Anyways,
Sorry.
so
Suicide Squad?
Zach, how'd you feel about Suicide Squad?
I was just about to pull up my thoughts because I can't be as
yeah, you
eloquent
wrote
as
you wrote an article about it.
I wrote a review. Look, when I get antsy during the movie, it's a problem.
Right.
And I was getting really antsy about, I want to say about 30 minutes in. Now, that being said, the Batman sequences were cool.
Well, sure.
I love those Batman sequences. Those were awesome. Those were probably my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah.
But,
the best
Really, even when
the best scene in the movie is
Deadshot's kid stepped in front of him and said, "Don't kill Batman."
Yeah, that was dumb.
That was dumb.
that was a little dumb, but I liked seeing Batman fight Deadshot for a little bit. That was
I
cool.
agree.
Oh yeah.
The scene where, my favorite scene is when the Joker bails on Harley underwater, and she
Harley
wakes up,
punches him, or
goes
she
to
punches
punch
Harley.
Batman, and Batman dodges her and just socks her.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's cool.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, I mean, this is what I wrote. This is just, ultimately, it's easy to nitpick the small things, but ultimately, this is my bottom line on this film. It's boring. It's just consistently boring. It's edgy, but it's boring. Does that make sense? It can't be both. You can't be edgy and be boring at the same time.
Right.
I don't think that's a potent combination of any kind. I did like Will Smith in this movie, though. He was funnier than he's been in ages, for the most
I would
part.
agree.
And Viola Davis kills it as Amanda Waller.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a great Amanda Waller. And I honestly kind of dug Jared Leto's Joker. I just wish I'd seen more of him.
Yeah, if he had something to do.
Yeah, so, and then the last thing that I saw this week was, this is something that you guys were talking about that really popped up in my wheelhouse is The Shadow.
Oh, you didn't.
That's a fun movie.
I love The Shadow. I can't believe we've never talked about The Shadow. That's another movie that's just made for Zach. Nobody else.
Yeah. Because as soon as you say old radio stuff,
Russ McCallie was like, "No, this kid named Zach Eastman is going to want to see a Shadow movie, so I'm going to make him a Shadow movie." Oh, the studio's going to interfere? Well, fine. Well, I'll make the best Shadow movie that I possibly can.
with like not enough budget and a bunch of dumb shit in it, but it's fun.
No, it's not.
It's a fun movie.
The villain is Shiwan Khan, the last descendant of Genghis Khan.
The last descendant of Genghis Khan.
And then he gets thrown in a prison full of people who think.
Hey, if you guys want to see
JFK.
a good The Shadow movie, watch Darkman.
We were talking about that
agree.
in the car. I will. The only reason I will not concede that Darkman is a better Shadow is because Darkman's a great Darkman.
Sure, yeah.
Just take the fucking pink elephant. Or is it purple? I don't remember.
But yeah, no, it's it's. I think it's fun. Is it good? No. Is
No,
it fun?
no, it's not
Yes.
good. It's let me
Is it stupid as hell. Yes.
let me be clear. It's not good, but it's fun.
Is it good? Is it good enough that Shout Factory made a release of it that I own? Yes, they did.
Did they really?
Oh yeah. I mean, they also made a release for the Destroyer, but that's beside the point.
And I'm gonna steal that one from you too, James.
Yeah, you should.
That's all that I've
that's cool.
seen this week.
Cool. Okay.
James?
Not a whole lot. I rewatched Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and that movie is really good. Man, I
Really?
really enjoy that Star Wars is cool again. So anyway, then I've also been rewatching Avatar: The Legend of Korra like before I go to sleep, and again, that show is so amazing and so much fun. And like there's I haven't seen it in about a year and a half now. And so just watching through the first season, like there's these badass, like episode 5, the first time that like the music really swells and Korra starts saving the day, and like people are getting their powers taken away, and there's like all of this synergy of different powers and people swinging off of zeppelins, and it's just this amazing action sequence at the end of that episode. Oh, whoa, shit! Hi, Brad. Oh man, he just snuck up on me.
Who ordered the homo?
And then wow. And then apparently I did.
The homogenized milk.
Apparently I did, because as soon as I saw him, I took out my wallet and got $20 out.
Nice.
No, I paid for one of his shirts. So anyway, Legend of Korra is still really good, which it's just a record. Or a skipping record at this point about how good that show was.
I know.
And then
back in 2012?
Right, exactly. And then the very last thing is that this week at the Alamo, director Richard Kelly showed up. And so I went and saw, on Friday night, I went and saw Southland Tales with a Q&A with him afterwards. And then I went and saw Donnie Darko the next night. So Southland Tales... Going in, I basically only saw that movie because I was amazed that they had it there. I have always thought that movie is just terrible. Genuinely one of the worst movies I've ever seen. And not because it's like, is it Creature? No. But it's so self-serious that it's frustrating, and it's 2.5 hours long of really self-serious. And it's also really disappointing because I really like Donnie Darko, and so I was really excited for Southland Tales. And then I saw that movie and was like, this is a mess.
I'm no longer excited for Southland Tales.
Right. But I had talked to Steve about the fact that it was coming out, and I was like, and he had never seen it, so I was like, okay, look, like, as frustrated as I am, like, by the time the movie was going to start, I went and saw it with Henry, which was really fun. He'd never seen it before. And I even told him, I was like, it's going to be really surprising if like I end up actually liking this movie, 7 years after it came out. And I would say the first 20 minutes.
7 years old?
7 or 8, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, it was filmed in 2005, it released in 2006. So I guess, but it didn't really release until 2007. And then, yeah, so I guess it's 9, yeah.
You just forget how many movies The Rock has been in since he became a star.
Oh, I mean, the whole movie, he's trying to Travolta the entire cast. So the whole movie is SNL fans or SNL actors. Like Amy Poehler is in there. The guy from the Highlander. Man, and
isn't Sarah Michelle Gellar in it too?
Sarah Michelle Gellar's in it. Sean William Scott is in it.
Kevin Smith's in it.
Kevin Smith is in it in old guy makeup. Justin Timberlake is in it, and it was the year that Alpha Dog and Black Snake Moan came out. So it was also before he was popular. It was like right on the cusp of like serious critics going like, "Hey, he's good. This is weird." So it was very like ahead of its time for some of the casting, but also like it just a lot of the cast was just terrible. But for the first 20 minutes, I was like, okay, I'm kind of on board. Like this is better than I remember. And then about the time that the second like chapter card pops up, so it like starts on like chapter 4, because the first 3 chapters are comic books.
It?
Well, the first 3 the first 3 chapters are comic books, so it's closer to Star Wars than anything else. And so about the time that the second chapter starts, like it just starts losing its. You've been gone the whole time, and as soon as you get here, just fucking tweeting up a storm, man.
By the way, I'm here.
Hi, Brad.
It just starts to go completely off the rails. It's so like full of political stuff that is just treated terribly. Like there's no intelligent thought really behind it. At times there are kind of neat ideas, but they're completely undermined by the rest of the film. The movie is so incredibly frustrating, and it's 2.5 hours long, which is not good. And then in the last like 30 minutes, you find out that there's like time travel involved, and you're like, "Wait, why is this here?"
Bruh?
I can't spoil this movie.
I'm never gonna see it.
It's really terrible. But so here's the thing: what was fascinating was the Q&A afterwards, where Richard Kelly is really sweet. And was very honest about the movie and talked about like things that worked and things that didn't. But he also said he was like, "This is probably my favorite project that I've done. Like it's totally a labor of love." He explained a lot about like how he was feeling at the time, and he's politically really frustrated and all of this stuff, and it just doesn't quite execute very well because it's not written really well, and there's not a lot of great characters in it or great moments for those characters, and. What was fascinating, though, listening to him talk was I actually just felt terrible for him. Like, after a while, I was just like, man, like, this poor guy makes this movie when he's... So he was a year younger than I am now when he made that movie. When he made Donnie Darko, he was 24. So if you can think about, like, here's this kid who went to film school, his first spec script becomes Donnie Darko, and... It does terribly. It does exactly what you should expect it to if you're a first-time director and writer, where it doesn't do well at all in theaters, and then you walk into like a taco bar one day and they're like, "Yeah, we show the movie every Tuesday on the roof, and it's to sold-out crowds." And the next thing you know, like it's this huge movie, right? And so that happens to you. You get the money to go make another movie. You're trying to tell a really good story. You're trying to make an impact, but you're also 28 and you're, naive and immature and all of this stuff, and people are probably trusting you more than they should, and one way or the other, like, you make this movie, the movie after this that you make is The Box, which is completely you doing whatever the studio wants you to, and you make a really mainstream movie that is fine. Like, it's a decent film. It's not amazing.
What's that one again? I don't remember.
That's the Cameron Diaz
I know.
movie. Yeah, about like if you take this money. Or if you push the button, you're going to get all this money, but someone somewhere is going to die. It was a Richard Matheson novella, and then it was a Twilight Zone episode called Button Button. And he makes a decent movie out of it. There's some really cool stuff in it. But then basically you get blacklisted for 8 years, which is just, I mean, the guy hasn't worked for a long time, and he's probably spent a lot of time going around defending this movie that he cares a lot about, that didn't have a huge budget and is very broken, and he knows that, and he'd love to have the money to go recut it and do some stuff to it, but he can't, obviously. And it just felt terrible for him. I was like, man, this is too bad that like this guy could have been a Rian Johnson, but like the whole industry has just sort of crushed him and chewed him out. And especially it was even worse the next night when I went and saw Donnie Darko, which this was actually the first time I had seen the original cut. I realized that I had never watched that. I own the director's cut and only ever watched that version. And I don't like it as much. But watching that movie for the first time in probably 10 years, I was like everyone else, where when I was like 19, I bought that movie and watched it once a month for a year and was like, this shit is amazing. And then I was like, this is annoying. And I didn't watch it again for 10 years. That script is really good. Like watching it again, especially the first 30 minutes and then everything that has to do with... It's not amazing because of Donnie Darko. It's amazing because of his parents and his sister. All of the scenes with that family are such rich, dialogue-driven scenes. And there's all these amazing moments that are the kinds of things that I would expect from a much more mature, like little quips from characters that are like, I don't want to invoke Shane Black, but they've got that kind of like smart, fun, but there's a level of drama to it. Mary McDonald's performance as his mother is just insane. She's so freaking good in that movie. I mean, genuinely, I would tell you should watch the movie again just to watch her, because she is so amazing. And there's like the scene where his parents go and talk to the therapist, and she is on the verge of tears, but like trying to stay strong and trying to like push through and say like, I'll do whatever I have to do to help my son because I love my son, but I also don't understand what's wrong with him. And it was also, so the Q&A for that movie was really fascinating. That was one where he was a lot bubblier and like that was where I learned to like Richard Kelly a lot more again, where I was like, oh yeah, like here you are. Now I see you as this fun, like smart filmmaker, talking about this stuff intelligently. And the questions, I mean, there was one, it was actually really moving. There was this one guy who raised his hand and was like, yeah, my brother became a paranoid schizophrenic at the same age Donnie Darko does in that movie, and I was basically Samantha's age, and had to go through all of that. And I was like, and he's like, this movie kind of wrecks me because it is so accurate to what my life was and your portrayal of all this. And so then it divulged into this conversation about mental illness and all of this, and it was just a fascinating conversation. The Q&A was so cool. And of course, the Alamo does a great job. I wish it could have been longer, but then the Alamo also went and got a local artist to draw up like a one sheet, like an 11 by 17 poster that they printed a bunch of, and then Richard Kelly signed them for everybody who was at the showing, and they gave those to everybody for free.
Nice.
So that was really cool. I mean, it was a really amazing, fun event that I was so glad I got to go to, even though it meant that I sat through 2.5 hours of Southland Tales only to remember that movie is just trash. But anyway, that's long-windedly everything that I watched this week.
I never really got into Donnie Darko.
Yeah, I would genuinely say, I realize I don't own it anymore. I traded in my DVD, but I need to get a Blu-ray. I would say I think you should watch it again and strip away. I agree, it is very much in the same bucket as like a Boondock Saints, where like the fans around Donnie Darko make me not like Donnie Darko.
Maybe that's what it is.
But if you can really separate yourself from that and watch that movie as for what it is, which is a very like post-Columbine, edgy kind of a film. I think it's really amazing, and just as a family drama, I think they do a great job. Yeah, it's got like a freaky, 6-foot-tall bunny rabbit in it, but that's not why it's great. In fact, Donnie Darko's not even why the movie's great. It's Donnie's family and all of that, those performances that are just amazing.
All right, I'll take your word for it. I haven't seen it in 10 years either.
You really should. Yeah. Because even I, like, going in, I was a little bit like, oh man, this, like, am I going to watch this now and be like, oh yeah, this is a lot of just emo bullshit. And it's not. It's super not emo bullshit. It's a cool ass movie that is really tight. Especially the director's cut, which I wish I'd got a chance to see. So, anyway, that's what I've been watching. Hey, Brad, you're here now.
What'd I miss?
What have you been watching?
Yeah, what have you been watching?
We actually, we this is our first segment still. So
Okay.
Yeah, because we were waiting for you. You never fucking showed.
but yeah,
What do you mean I never fucking showed? I'm here right now.
I know. You said you'd be here at 8.
I know.
Fuck, dude.
I got stuck on
What-
the last shot at 8 o'clock, so.
Yeah, say fuck you, Brad.
he just ran away.
He
He's
did.
like, "Fuck
He
you,
said
Dad." Did he?
Yeah.
Right
Oh,
out
I
of the
couldn't hear
room.
him.
Yeah. So what'd you watch this week, Brad? Welcome.
Hey. Welcome, really.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, so the Alamo. Speaking of the Alamo, they had a Star Wars marathon at the Paramount.
Oh, did you
on
go?
Saturday, which I went to.
Cool.
And I don't know if I just wasn't paying attention to because they've been advertising this since, I don't know, March,
Yeah.
April. And back then I thought they were advertising it as the original unedited. So I was surprised when I actually bought my tickets. Well, I bought my tickets and then realized that it's the special editions, which, again, they make it seem like it's the 1997 special editions until you watch the marathon, and it's the Blu-ray special editions.
Oh yeah.
With Return of the Jedi and Darth Vader going, no!
There's no way that. Yeah. Sorry.
Which-
I was going to tell you the story of why I didn't buy tickets to that, because I was literally on the screen, and then all of a sudden I thought, I wonder what version it is, and I went and looked it up and was like, shit.
Yeah. I mean, I was fine with just like the 97 edition, but then I was sitting
yeah.
there watching, I was like, oh man, I really screwed up.
I can blink at the right time during Han shoots first, and I can overlook the
hear-
campiness of Jabba the Hutt in the first movie, but
And yeah, so the audience, you could hear them chattering about the Han shoots first, like, here it comes. And then the Return of the Jedi, like you could feel
when
the
Hayden
Anakin.
Christensen comes up, like the whole room just fills with farts.
No, they audibly booed. Like, just a huge wave of boos
Yeah.
when his Force Ghost shows up. So,
It's so demeaning.
yeah, I mean, I hate saying it, but I was actually, for $40, I was kind of disappointed. It started out, one guy comes on stage. I don't know who he was, other than he was just
Really?
a big fan. He's like, yeah, I'm so excited to be able to watch this all with you guys. I've been a fan forever. Ever since, 1977 when I was, that
So-
whole story.
It wasn't Walter or Steve.
No, it was no one I knew.
Weird.
There was no, like, Star Wars-y pre-show thing.
What?
It was just the Alamo logo.
What?
Between each intermission, it was just the drive-in, like, refreshment jingle,
Okay. All right. Sure.
but not Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
Which,
yeah.
you'd think there would be some
They
production
should.
value.
At the
into this
very
event.
least, you go get the one from Force Awakens last year and play that again, right? Like that would be easy.
And
That's
the thing that-
basically what they did for Pete's Dragon was go play the Hobbit one with all the dragons in it.
Like, there's so many Star Wars internet videos they could have downloaded and, like, cut together to be all these
Yeah.
interstitials. None of that.
Huh.
And the thing that really set the tone for the evening was I got there, and I'm already pissed off because they're actually, like, scanning people and patting them down.
Sure.
Like, I'm pulling metal out of my pockets.
it wasn't at the Alamo Draft House. It was at the
It's
whatever.
it's the Paramount Theater,
yeah.
which I went to the Star Trek thing. I went to the David Cross thing, and they just checked that you had your ticket. It wasn't like
Oh, okay.
cybersecurity.
Sure.
Cybersecurity, which is security. But for Star Wars marathon, really?
Yeah.
Like, someone's gonna bomb the Star Wars marathon?
Well, did you think someone?
going to bomb the Star Wars?
Do you think someone would do something in a Batman movie? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
understand.
I mean, yeah.
Um,
Or it could entirely be that there was something where they were like, there was something said or something that happened where they were like, oh yeah, we should ramp it up a little.
maybe they got a threat in earlier that day.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Maybe
that-
if you stopped carrying a gun everywhere you went, it wouldn't piss you off so much when you couldn't take it into places.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so that was annoying. And then I go to get to my seat. Like, the guy scans my ticket. He's like, okay, you're up in the mezzanine. I was like, I know.
I think he was trying to be helpful. He wasn't trying to be
Right,
condescending.
right. But that's not the
sir,
annoying
you're
part.
In the you're up in the mezzanine.
I get to the mezzanine. I find my seat myself. And I start to, like, because, you're allowed to leave the theater to go get food and stuff. So
Yeah.
I find my seat, put my coat on it. And as I'm leaving the mezzanine, some guy stops me. And he's like, yeah, can I show you to your seat? I'm like, oh, no, I'm good. I found it. He's like, well, it's general admission, so you can just go sit wherever. I'm like, wait, what?
What?
I paid $40 for a specific seat. Like,
Really?
yeah, anyone's gonna anytime, like, it's general admission now. We changed it, and so anyone can sit anywhere they want. Like, so I could have paid $30 and sat down in front of the screen this whole time. Like, that's kind of shitty.
Well, was it general admission for the whole place or just general admission for the mezzanine?
I don't know. I think it was the whole place. Like, because it was pretty empty. Like, there was not a lot of people
Really?
here. Yeah, I'd say there was
Really?
maybe 100 people. It was very light.
Uh-huh.
Like, I was one of maybe 20 in the balcony.
Wow.
So, but I don't know that. At that time, I think this whole place is going to fill up. So
Right,
I'm like,
yeah, you thought you were going to get jacked.
So now I can't leave the theater because someone's going to take my seat.
Well, I mean, you brought your gun,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna sit in this one seat for the next 8 hours or 6 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours. Yeah, 6 hours.
but you didn't, right?
No, but I'm sitting there brooding and like, okay, well, I'll wait for this fucker to fill up, and then these two annoying like middle-aged women.
Women.
Out of all the seats that were open, they
sat right
like,
next to you.
Yeah, like one seat over from me, so there's a space, but still, it's like,
Okay, that's not so bad.
except for they started fucking talking.
Well, the movie wasn't starting yet.
Well, they started going into the movie. They'd
Oh,
occasionally
okay.
like lean over and like something about I love Star Wars, whatever, or some trite trivia that
Brad, you having a bad day, buddy?
Yeah.
I'm trying to relate.
It's almost like you went to see Southland Tales. I don't know what's wrong with you.
Maybe you should ask those ladies for a hug.
Well, I got lucky because I moved.
Whoa! Sorry.
I moved up a couple rows up, and then about halfway through A New Hope, they got up and left.
Like, oh,
I don't know where they went. Probably
Like-
get food.
fuck, this is special editions. We're going home.
Yeah, they finally read the special edition. And so I went back down to my seat, and then, like, in between A New Hope and Empire, I went and got food and came back, which they checked my food at the door.
Did you put your gun in your popcorn, sir?
Yeah, because I went to Red Robin, and, like, they put the burger in, like, one of those styrofoam takeout things.
Yeah. Oh, you brought in food.
I brought in food.
Oh.
I went out,
okay.
got it, then brought it in. They only give you, like, 10 minutes, so I was, like, right on the nose.
Oh, okay.
And then within like 5 minutes of me sitting down and starting that up, those girls came back with, I guess they went to King Soopers and got like bags of chips and
Hell yeah, that's how you roll.
an entire picnic. So throughout Empire, I'm just hearing like,
Oh man, dude, I'm so,
I love the special editions more than the original trilogy.
I just want to say that when we decided to invest in a Foley artist, I think it's the best decision we could have made. Steve, the Foley artist, is so good.
yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
So yeah, there was that, and then like, yeah.
That sounds terrible.
But the meat of the movies is still there. Still good movies.
I mean, these are first world problems, I admit.
For sure. Yeah, right.
But I'm just like, I paid like a premium for a lot. Like,
Yeah, well, no, because you paid $45, which is...
it's not bad for 3 movies,
Yeah.
but they
I mean, I guess
are like 30 years
it is,
old.
It is like $6 more than 3 tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I also paid for a specific seat, which in the end it didn't matter. But that was annoying at first.
Oh, yeah, no, that sucks.
Like if I had known how things were going to shake out, I would have just gone to the front row.
Well, or they could have... The guy could have said to you, it's undersold, so we went to general admission. So if you want to go sit down there, you can, because it's not going to fill up enough for the mezzanine.
Yeah.
Like, then it would have been nicer. Then you would have been like, oh, okay, cool. But what he said was like, oh, no, man, it's Wild West. And you're like, no, I didn't pay for the Wild West.
Yeah.
So that sucks. Whoa.
what is that?
Man.
So yeah,
Oh, it's Mickey Mouse.
that was
That
my Star Wars.
sucks.
Yeah, I know.
That is not an Alamo Drafthouse experience, that's for sure.
Yeah, like, and people were allowed to talk. Like, there's no one policing phones. Like, phones were going off. Like, lights were popping up.
Did they do the, like, hey, this is a no-talking theater thing?
They did that recording of the girl who was like, who called in, like, how
Yeah,
dare you
right.
throw me out of your theater? But that was the extent of it. Like, there was no, like, this is now a no talking theater. Like,
Oh,
that was
weird.
missing. So I assume that people are supposed to get it from that call. Like, don't do this shit. But still,
That's too bad.
yeah, it just didn't feel like an Alamo theater experience. Like, I went
Yeah.
to a place where I was going to have a specific seat, not worry about it. No one's going to talk. No one's going to use their phones. And that wasn't it. So,
Would you say, how was the actual projection? Because I'll be honest, like,
Oh.
we saw Red State there, and I would never go see a movie there, ever.
thank you for reminding me. It was a digital projection. But, you know, the
Duh.
Paramount has these 2 gigantic speakers on either side. And
Yeah.
granted, I
What's
was
Mickey doing?
like right on the right side, like the farthest right seat you could possibly get. So one of the theaters obstructed about 25% of the screen.
Right.
But the thing that blew me away was the sound was awful.
Yep.
The sound effects were the loudest thing. So John
Weird.
Williams' score was very quiet,
What?
especially during A New Hope, like because it's in the center speaker.
Oh,
And it's the THX.
Yeah.
Well, it was the Blu-ray cut, so it should have been remastered, but they didn't calibrate it for this theater. So
Right.
I'm hearing sound
They don't.
effects and dialogue and music are in the center channel, and it's like
Yep.
way lower than laser blasts and lightsabers
Yeah.
and TIE fighter streaks. It was like, wow, did they not check this?
Technically, they're plasma blasts, though, just for the
Yeah.
record.
All right, nerd. So yeah, I was just Anyway,
That sounds pretty annoying. yeah.
again, it's a first world issue.
Thank you for making me happy about the fact that I chose not to go.
Yeah, I told all my friends who were like didn't get to go. I was like, you didn't like
You didn't miss much.
for what you were supposed to pay. Like you didn't miss much.
And as a guy who
And
still
it's-
doesn't own them, like I'm okay.
And it makes me rethink like ever doing an outside the Alamo event ever again.
Yeah, I think the outdoors ones might be really cool.
Like on the
I've
lawn
heard
at the
awesome
Alamo.
stuff about that. Well, yeah, or like they're doing them at the airport now. But those I
Yeah.
know are for sure like those are run by the people we know at our draft house. So maybe that would be better. And if you're going to go see Top Gun outside at the airport, I'm probably not expecting like a completely silent and undisturbed experience the way that I would if I'm in a real theater.
Yeah.
Then I'm just there for like, hey, this is like a fun thing we're doing. Is going to, it's almost like going to see a movie at the Red Rocks, right? Which is also a terrible experience. So, yeah. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
So I saw The Secret Life of Pets
Why?
in front of so I saw Suicide Squad and Star
Oh.
Trek Beyond again at the drive-in.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
I thought you meant voluntarily.
And the lead into that was Secret Life of Pets, which, yeah, the animation's pretty cool, but
Oh, okay, cool.
the story is just Toy Story with pets.
That's too bad.
These two animals are thrown together, they don't like each other, and then they get lost, and they have to find their way back.
Holy shit, it's totally just Toy Story.
And then
Do they
there's
get abducted by some kind of abusive
they
villain?
get caught by a dog catcher, and then when they escape the pound, they find their way into the sewer, and in the sewer they find a ragtag bunch of discarded animals that have been like tossed away by their owners, or just never got adopted and
Yeah.
roam the streets. And they're led by the bunny rabbit that's voiced by Kevin Hart.
Oh, the one that poops itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the
Comedy gold.
disturbing part of it is how casually they treat no, like extreme violence. So there's this whole scene where they pretend that they are two also like discarded pets
Okay.
to curry favor with the group of these animals who have claimed like they would love to kill their owners in horrible ways. So
they're Lotsoing it from Toy Story 3, right? Like they're the big lovable like, oh, we're with you. I'm just a normal toy, and then it turns out that like, no, you don't get to leave because we're actually the bad guys. They're doing that thing.
yeah, but it's not as subtle. Like right off the bat.
Well,
they're like, yeah, we
I
hate.
wasn't assuming subtlety.
Yeah, we hate humans. Do you also hate humans? Like, yes, we hate humans. They're awful. And so it goes into this whole scene of like, well, if you had the chance, what would you do to your owners? You'd kill them, right? And then our hero animals
Oh,
have
it's the
to,
reverse. Oh, now I get it. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
and then our hero have to come up with descriptive, graphic ways to explain how they would kill their owners.
yeah.
So they're saying
And
like,
they're-
oh yeah,
and they're
I
dogs,
would,
so they
we
could
would
do it.
Yeah. So they're sitting there going like, yeah, we would totally kill our owners. And then the bunny goes, yeah, but that's boring. Like, take it further. And so the animals have to be like, yeah, we'd bite them. And the bunny's like, ugh, still boring. Take it further. And then they're like, yeah, I guess we'd burn them or like, shred their skin. Like it gets
Weird.
I
Pretty
think the most
horrible.
egregious thing too was the theme song. You got a dog in me.
You.
I,
Oh, you totally had me. I was like, Ryan,
Yeah.
you saw this movie too? Man, everybody's going to see Secret Life of Pet. That was really good.
I'm such a jerk. My wife wanted to see him, and I said, I'm not seeing that shit.
Right.
And then there's like a part towards the end where the bunny rabbit and the Louis C.K. voice dog, I think it's Max.
Oh.
They're thrown together. Like after they escape, the bunny's been chasing them down to kill them. But eventually they have to team up to get to their goal, which I forget what it is, other than just getting home. And so they just arbitrarily hijack a full bus with no people on it. And they're driving it down, like, I don't know, the George Washington Bridge. And the bunny's, like, sideswiping all these cars with, like, humans at them. And they're, like, rolling around and exploding. It's like, that's disturbing.
Huh.
Just,
That's weird.
again, casual
Yeah.
violence. and then it like rolls over, and then the other like hero dogs, they've been trying to track the other hero dogs. They all meet up in this big finale, whatnot. So, the jokes are kind of like meh, but the animation is pretty. Like a lot of the New York City scape is pretty detailed and stuff like that. But yeah, I didn't really laugh at much.
Fair.
I can't think of anything super clever. But again, all that just like, wow, people praise these for like being really kid friendly, but if you're like really paying attention, it's not that kid friendly.
Murder,
leading up to like reading the comments, people like, can you get Secret Life of Pets to the drive-in? Like there haven't been any kids movies there for a while, and like you're really bumming us out that we can't bring our kids to these drive-in shows, and they finally get this there, and like probably a little
Have
more,
him back.
not more violent than like Ninja Turtles. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Interesting.
bunch of hypocrites. Yeah, and then the last thing I saw, which I forgot from a couple weeks ago, was I watched Eraser.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Can we talk about the CGI alligators?
Yes, we can.
Which I
That
forgot
movie is
about.
amazing.
Uh,
And then he jumps between that. Oh.
and a couple of the guys get chewed up. Yeah,
Right.
So those are terrible. Jeez, poor
Man.
Reggie.
Yeah, you got to
Plus
be
a
nice
dog
to the dog.
hurt.
Man, that's why the dog is going to want to kill you when you're not around.
Say you're sorry to Reggie. Say
Aw.
sorry, Reggie.
Good.
There you go.
There you go. Man. For those of you listening who couldn't hear that, it was adorable. But anyway, but Reggie is hidden forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eraser and alligators, yes.
Yes, and James Caan is over the top,
Oh, so cool.
chewing the scenery.
It's actually like one of my not favorite Schwarzenegger films.
Really?
It's okay.
It's one of my favorite Schwarzenegger
I think
movies.
Schwarzenegger's really good in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that pulse rifle that they have
It's
that
so cool.
is cool.
Yeah.
But
the rest of the movie's just terrible.
yeah, it just follows like he's this. It starts out really cool. Like he's this operative that there's like people in witness protection, and
And he erases them.
yeah, like they're being tracked down because I guess their cover got blown, and as they're about to get murdered, Schwarzenegger like swoops in, kills those assassins, burns their bodies, puts the people he's protecting their DNA on them,
Yeah.
blows up the house, like gives them new identities, sends them off, and like that guy comes back later to help him because he owes him a favor. But eventually, like Schwarzenegger has to protect like Vanessa Williams, who's also like she's got information, she's going to testify against somebody, and then
It's like an arms dealer who's made this crazy lightning gun.
yeah, in order to like keep the contract going, his buddy James Caan double crosses him and sets him up as I forget like what he sets him up to do to protect this gun deal,
I don't
but
know. Yeah.
anyway, yeah, he just basically sells him out, and then Schwarzenegger has to go rogue and protect Vanessa Williams and expose the gun plot.
And then he kills James Caan with a train.
Yep, which is pretty cool
Yeah.
because he and Vanessa Williams go to their van after the whole trial.
Yeah.
And they think James Caan's gonna get away with it, and all of his like military buddies,
Because the van blows up.
And the van
You're
blows up.
like, what? There's no way.
and they think they're off scot-free. But then the guy who he helped out in the very first scene drives the limo onto train tracks.
Yeah.
And then those
That's
three...
right. He can't get out.
Yeah,
He's like,
they're locked, and then the train shows. And I
And I think
thanks, Steve, the
Schwarzenegger
Foley
like
guy.
is standing next to the train tracks, and he goes like, "You've been erased."
Yeah,
like,
of course he
crushes
does.
his phone.
Of course he does.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
The 90s.
I need to get that Blu-ray.
I'm sure you can find it cheap.
I owned the DVD for a long time.
And
Cool.
the last thing I've been watching is the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
It's a great show.
Yeah. Which I didn't really notice before, but like in the third season, she goes back to her Dick Van Dyke Show hairstyle. So it's like watching the Dick Van Dyke Show in color.
Oh.
And then,
I watched this amazing video of him singing "Chitty Chitty Bang Bang" with like an a cappella group in a Denny's today.
I saw
thought
the
it was-
headline.
yeah, that was really
I
good.
haven't watched it yet, though.
It was good. He's amazing.
And there's one part in the show where she has to. There's like this mandate from corporate to change up the format of the show, so Ted and Gordy have to team up to make the show more casual.
Love Ted.
And then, yeah, Ted Baxter. And then Mary has to like do this side bit about some kind of factual information, and so she spouts off this statistic that this is, I think, 1972 at this point, where she says something like, it's about overpopulation, and the statistic is that by the year 2000, there will be 7 billion people in the world. And I was curious. I was like, I wonder how accurate that was. And I looked it up, and by 2000, it was actually like 6.5 million people.
Wow.
It was close.
So, yeah, they were pretty close back then on their little estimation. So, good job, world, for not fucking as much. I guess.
Not count on me. I fuck all night long.
Yeah. And yeah, that show's really fun and witty. And on the bonus features, there's these Mad Magazine cartoons where I've never really put it together before, but a lot of the cartoons are just like, I'm Mary and I'm changing it into a different outfit in each scene. And like a lot of them are really mean-spirited. But I'm watching season 3 and like, yeah, she's constantly like changing her clothes or like going into her closet and like swapping outfits, and each scene she's kind of wearing different stuff, so they're not far off. But
That's funny.
yeah, I'm Lou and I get mad at everything.
Funny.
Yeah.
Hey, I missed a quick detail on my Southland Tales. I went with a cousin of mine, and come to find out that she was in a 48-hour film festival movie, just like a little bit part. So she was she was in Block D, and I told her, I was like, hey, did you see Thunderbolt 2? And she was like, yeah, that was really good. I voted for that one. And so there you go, Brad.
We didn't win an audience award, by the way.
Doesn't matter. My cousin voted for you, and
So
she's
that's
the
all you
smartest
need.
person in the world.
Which one was she in?
She was like a cheating wife. I think she made out with she said that she did a thing where they took a bunch of photos with her and this other woman like pretending to make out, but then they didn't really use the photos very much in the scene.
Is that the film that got cut off?
I think they did say that there was one there where it, like she said that there was like a scene they didn't get to film or something like that. Anyway, I think it was like I think they were a detective one. Like they're like detective, I think was their genre or something like that.
Yeah, I
anyway,
mean,
we
saw.
can talk about it later, but yeah, I don't remember.
No, I'm just I'm really curious. I mean, I saw like 50 of them, so a lot of them are detective, but
Sure.
it's Block D.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the one. Zach saw it. Like, I guess they didn't master the DVD rights, so it cut off in the middle of the film. It's the first time this ever happened.
Oh, it wasn't that. Yeah.
Right, but I was just saying this. There's this other one. They had to replay it after all the films, and like the producer actually went home in between like Thunderbolt and the last movie to get their movie on its own thing and show it. So that,
Because did they turn in a copy that was incomplete then?
no, it was just
It was like the whatever Blu-ray they had made for the show.
yeah. And
where
they
they
tested
put them all
it,
together.
and they just missed it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Gotcha. That's
So-
too bad.
Cool. Yeah.
Anyway. Hey, buddy. We're gonna teach you how to do Foley.
Calvin, why don't you tell everybody what Hulk does? What's Hulk
Nope. He is zoned. He spatches.
Smash.
Hey, Hulk spats.
What's in real news this week?
Yeah.
It's real news.
Hulk like spats.
Okay,
So
so
think they look
we're-
good on him.
we're gonna get democratic this week. So, do you want to start with sad news or awesome news?
I want to start with Sawsome news. Sad and awesome together.
I don't.
Say the awesome stuff, but say it in a sad tone.
Okay, this is actually going to be really good. So, unfortunately, Bad Boys 3 has got a release date, and the movie is going to be called Bad Boys for Life.
No, say it sad. I know you're excited.
So that's too bad. Rocco's Modern Life is going to get a TV movie, and that was a cool show, and that was too bad. I just want to warn you, this is going to get really terrible when I have to be excited about sad news. John Williams is unfortunately going to return to score the next Star Wars movie, and everybody knows how much people hate his scores.
Do something different, old man.
That's too bad. They're probably going to ruin the Deadpool sequel by casting Kyle Chandler as Cable, and I mean Kyle Chandler's really talented, but
So
that's too bad.
Deadpool 2 takes place on a football field for like an hour.
Oh gosh, I would
And
love
Cable
that.
just gives halftime speeches.
Yeah.
The captain of the Star Trek Discovery is a woman, and that's too bad.
So PC.
Shit, this is so
Sexist
awful.
motherfucker.
I don't mean to. They made me do it.
Did you get the other half of that though, where it's not going to focus on the captain though? Like
Yeah,
the main
right.
character's going to be a side
Yes.
crewman.
Yeah.
Crew
But still,
woman.
cool that, or unfortunate,
Yeah.
whatever. The Stranger Things soundtrack was split into 2, and one half is already out, which that part's kind of happy. But genuinely, the sad part is that the second half isn't out yet. It comes out in a couple weeks. But at least now people can finally enjoy that. There's going to be a Force Awakens. Oh, no. Oh, hey, guys. Disney's totally double dipping everybody and finally putting out a version of Star Wars of The Force Awakens on Blu-ray that's got all the content in it that you always wanted.
And the 3D-ness that you missed out on.
Yeah! And the cover's totally terrible. But whatever.
And here's the thing: we're all gonna buy it.
And we're going to totally spend $25 getting it.
I am. I don't care.
Oh, I totally am. All right, back to sad. Actually, I don't know what the hell this one is. Okay, actually, yeah, okay. Awesome and sad at the same time. Anybody else watch the Resident Evil final chapter trailer?
I did.
Because that shit is amazingly terrible. It's so good. Yeah, I've actually only seen the international version. Ryan, apparently you got a domestic cut in front of...
You know what I'm excited about is Paul W. Anderson. What? Right? W.S. Anderson is he's finally making a movie where they're going underground and they have to find a way out of all these traps.
Yes.
I mean, he's never made a movie like that.
No.
So I'm really excited that it's funny when I was watching the trailer and the red rum fucking little English girl computer AI, I forget her
Yeah,
name.
right.
Red Queen, I think is what they call her in the movie.
Whatever.
She says, "You have to go back to the hive." I'm like, of course they do. It's a Paul W.
Really?
Anderson movie, and they have to go back underground and fight through rooms.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's not in the international cut.
Yeah, there's the laser room again.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
pretty
totally.
Sure,
There's a really... Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure
And it's not
every,
as cool.
You know what? If I want to torture myself, I'm going to watch all Paul W.S. Anderson movies,
Don't do that!
and I'm pretty sure I'm going to say 98% of them deal with like an underground thing that they're trying
Yes.
to get out of.
And then at some point they have to go back into.
In
Yes.
fact, the only one I can think of, the two that I can think of, even though Event Horizon,
is basically that in space.
it's in, but they're on a spaceship,
Right. There's no ground, so
And I
they do
think-
the best they can.
and it's not in Death Race.
True.
So that's the only
But
one
they
I can
are
think
locked
of.
in a prison.
Okay, so
It's ostensibly the same thing,
yeah, I guess
but they're
so.
not underground.
I haven't seen the Three Musketeers, so I don't know.
They do go underground at times. I don't remember that film very well because it is trash.
I mean, I know it's in
So-
Alien vs Predator, so
Yes. Yes,
So-
it is.
I'm gonna go through his filmography. I'm pretty sure that's
please
his.
don't.
He's like the
Don't
laziest
actually watch
writer
them.
in.
I want you to live, Ryan.
Hey, you're a pimp, and pimps don't commit
He's the
suicide.
laziest writer. I think visually, I still think he's a pretty cool director, but he's pretty lazy when it comes to writing.
Yeah.
I've never seen any of these movies. Is it best to watch them in a basement
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
to get the full effect?
Make
'Cause
sure you
I don't
can't-
have a 3D.
Make sure you have
No.
to. It's really complicated if you want to go get a drink or a snack. That you have to like do a series of like jumps and key cards.
Yeah, I mean, no, the best case scenario is to watch them in like god awful 3D in a theater with a bunch of drunk assholes. Like that's the way they are meant to be experienced.
And that theater is in a basement because they
Sure.
have to be underground.
Yeah, well, it's definitely dark in there. Yeah, for
Okay.
sure. Yeah, I mean the. Seriously, the 3D on Resident Evil Afterlife is the worst 3D experience I've ever had. It's so bad.
And every time
You know
I see
what's
that
cool?
dude, I'm like, he's married to Mila Jovovich, and it's
Yeah.
kind of sad.
You know what's really great on 3D? Muddy water. Just putting the camera underwater and filling the water with mud. It looks so good on 3D.
They are one of my guilty pleasures, though. I'm probably when I saw that trailer, I'm like, I'm gonna watch all those movies again.
Oh yeah, I own all of them.
Fuck
They're
yeah, I do too.
terrible. Anyway, getting back to news though, very last thing that I have, which I won't joke around with, is Kenny Baker died this week.
Oh my God, they killed Kenny.
God
You
damn it.
bastard!
I just said I wasn't gonna joke. He was 81 years old. So
Are you sure? I saw One
Wait.
article said he was 82, and another one said he was 83.
Okay, I thought you were going to
thought
say,
he
"Are you
won.
sure he's dead?"
Mine said
Like,
84.
Yeah. I'm like, how the fuck old was this dude?
Well,
The thing you should
He
take
had a
away
great
though
run.
is that
Yeah.
when he was young, the doctor said like, "You're probably not going to live past your 20s."
No.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Did you get dizzy?
Kind of like this kid.
His new thing is he spins around and falls down. He's figured out how to make himself dizzy.
Yep.
That's funny.
But yeah, Kenny Baker.
yeah.
It's too bad.
Good run, though.
Yeah. It was hard not to think back to how amazing it was at Denver Comic Con this year to have those guys from R2 Tim come up and hang out with their R2D2 for a while, and you just realize like how you see that thing and it is 100% alive, like built into the way you interact with Star Wars is this idea that is a living, breathing, personable thing, and it's all attributed to that guy.
Yep.
Basically hanging out in a trash can all day and sweating his balls off, which was probably a terrible existence. But yeah, good for him. 80, somewhere between 81 and 84, Kenny Baker.
Yep.
And that's news.
Blu-rays. Oh, fuck, what?
What, did I miss something?
I know we talked about making a murderer before.
Oh,
that's
yes.
right.
Yeah.
Shockingly, they overturned the younger one's conviction,
yeah.
and he's out.
Yeah, Brendan got let out, and then, so of course that means, who knows what happens next. This is one of those things where the sequel season of that show might not have any real, twists in it, because everybody's paying attention.
Right.
But it'll certainly be interesting to learn, a lot of the details and see the behind-the-scenes on it, so.
Well,
I would-
because of my career, I can tell you that they made a lot of mistakes in the investigation.
Well, yeah.
Not necessarily saying that those two didn't do it.
Oh, 100%,
but-
right.
I'm actually surprised that he's been in prison as long as he has, because you can't. I won't get into it, but anyway, there's a lot of things that you can't do. That I was watching and I said, "What the? You can stay on somebody's property for that long searching for something?" All right.
A lot of rights violations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's unusual.
Yeah. It's one of those where it's very close to Serial, where it's like, I'd love to know what really happened. I'd love to know that those guys didn't actually do it. It certainly seems to me that they didn't from the documentary that I watched that could or could not be biased, right? Like, I can't actually have a dog in the race because I'm not on the jury.
Yeah,
but at the same time, you just look at the way that it was handled and you go, there's something broken here. And I can't understand how a conviction would go through because it seems so underhanded and weird.
I know. I watched the follow-up that the prosecution did is on Discovery ID.
Yeah.
And their arguments weren't that compelling to me.
No.
So
It's not good.
I mean, at the end of the day, some poor woman was murdered, and
Yeah.
because of the inability of the city that they lived in, Manitowoc, county is that poor woman will never.
Yeah. And now her death is entertainment. you know?
So
It's been sidelined for the larger story of
exactly
Stephen Avery.
about how inept they were in
Right.
their investigation, and this guy who may or may not have done it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fascinating.
It is.
for sure. So, yeah, good pull, Brad.
Hey, what's coming out on Blu-ray tomorrow? Except I got mine today.
Yeah.
DVD releases and Blu-rays.
USPS delivery in your favor.
Was it the Angry Birds movie?
Oh,
'Cause that comes out tomorrow.
yes.
No.
No.
Well, it wasn't. Okay. Well, that's
I
good
don't know.
because we
I
might
don't-
have
my
to
movie
stop
might
being
be worse
friends.
than Angry Birds. I don't. It probably is.
We'll get there. Angry Birds, the movie that stole all of the nice guys' money. God's Not Dead 2, which didn't steal anybody's money.
God's dead, not deaderer.
He's surely alive.
The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai, which is a
Shout.
yeah, but it's got a cool little Shout Selects logo on it. What does that mean?
Shout Selects is cult movies that they're releasing as it's like Shout's Scream Factory Collector Edition stuff.
Huh.
So I think in 2 weeks, Roadhouse
And then Bill
is
and
coming
Ted.
out, and Bill and Ted. Yeah,
It's got a number 1 on the end. Does that mean like the collection is you
Yeah.
put them in numerical order?
Yeah,
on the
remember
shelf?
the
Criterion.
old Fox
Yeah,
ones.
collector's edition.
Yeah,
Fox
it's
ones.
like the old Fox ones.
That's kind of
fold-outs.
cool.
Do you see? I think it's Lionsgate's doing like a Vestron video
Yeah.
line.
Huh.
Like, I can't wait for chopping them all.
Man, that's pretty neat. Yeah, it's
Blood
a
Diner.
it's a cool looking cover there, Buckaroo Banzai. Not as cool. Gotham season 2. There you go. Even less cool. Once Upon a Time season 5. A lot cooler than all of that. Hell on Wheels season 5, which man, I should just go buy all of those.
Five seasons of that?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Hey, when you spend a lot of money to build a small western town, you make some seasons.
I haven't heard of it since 3. I think.
Yeah. I fell off somewhere in 3, so I need to pick it back up. Raiders, the story of the greatest fan film ever made, is getting its Blu-ray release this week. So if you were interested in after Brad's review of it a couple weeks ago, then now is your chance to check it out. All right, we'll run through the next 4 really quickly. American Ninja, and American Ninja 2, and American Ninja 3, Blood Hunt, and American Ninja 4, The Annihilation.
If you watch Electric Boogaloo, you'll want to watch those movies. Because I am tempted to get them after watching that documentary.
Yeah?
Because they're
That's
so
awesome.
insane that I'm like, sounds like something I want to
I
watch.
think they showed clips from American Ninja 4 in like one of the Alamo pre-show things.
Oh, yeah?
It has like this one guy fighting, like 100 ninjas.
yeah,
all at
I
once.
think that's right. I think
the
that's
one
in the
where he's like-
documentary too, yeah.
Yeah, like he crawls, like he's jumping from tree to tree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the very last thing, which Ryan has already received in the mail from Arrow, is Microwave Massacre.
I have no idea what it's about.
It's about an
Pre-ordered
army of
on-
microwaves
I
that
know it's a
get
dude who's a
killed.
cannibal who cooks people in a microwave.
Yeah, the cover is pretty amazing.
Purchased for the name alone.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
So it's a very simple looking microwave with way too many buttons. And inside is this bubbling head, and one of its eyes has popped, and smoke is coming out, and it's looking at you. Mm-hmm. Which I don't know if that means that it's an evil it's like the Event Horizon of microwaves, where
Or
if you cook a head in it, the head comes back to
Death
life
bed,
and attacks
the
you.
bed that kills people.
By the title, theoretically, it should just be like people who are abusive to their microwaves and don't clean them often enough, and things grow inside. And the
Just like an
microwaves.
extended scene of that office space where they're
Yeah.
bashing all the electronics, but
Well,
with microwaves.
Yeah, or it's basically like Toy Story, but with microwaves. Where after you leave, the
Brave little toaster.
the microwaves. Yeah, oh yeah, but they're all just terribly abused
Little
because you don't
Toaster.
clean them often enough, and your toaster oven can't breathe because it's full of crumbs.
They're-
Yeah,
It's like anthropomorphized. It's like coughing and wheezing.
yeah. And then they come together and they kill you and they microwave your head.
They shoot gamma rays at people and their heads explode.
Oh yes, we need to make this movie.
Copyright Real Nerds Podcast.
Right.
This science is accurate.
Right. Anyway, that is what's coming out on Blu-ray this week.
This week on Real Nerds Podcast, James went and saw Pete's Dragon. James,
did.
should people go see Pete's Dragon?
Yeah. It's not as good as the Jungle Book remake or the or Cinderella from last year. But I think, especially if you're looking for a fun family film, I think that they do a good job. It's a fun little adventure movie. It's definitely got its moments where it's kind of saccharine. It's very by the numbers, so you know what's coming next. But I enjoyed it. I had a good time, and honestly, I was just in a place where I wanted to watch something good and charming, and that's exactly what it delivered. So yeah, if you want a good family movie, you should go check out Pete's Dragon. Here's the trailer for Pete's Dragon.
I was out here at the Eastern Pad. But that's
50 miles east.
from where we found him. Hey. Wait. Do you know where your parents are? Your family?
I guess he was on a picnic or a camping trip. He wandered off and got himself lost.
Been out in the woods, doing things his own way. Sounds like a boy after your own heart.
How long has he been out there?
6 years.
Nobody can survive in that forest for 6 years. At least not alone.
You'll see. I have Elliot.
Who's Elliot?
I need to get back to him. He gets scared when I'm gone.
Is Elliot a person?
No, it looks like a dragon. What's a dragon?
That's a dragon. You don't have to run anymore, Pete. You can stay with us.
This thing is dangerous.
I don't want to leave you, but they'll come looking for you. What's gonna happen to Elliot?
You have no idea what this thing is capable of. Let's go hunting.
You're very brave. Did you know that? You might be the bravest boy I've ever met.
Attention all units. We're eastbound on Millhaven Road in pursuit of a dragon! It's a dragon! You can't say dragon over the radio.
So what happened was, what happened was that I talked to Henry when I was going to see Southland Tales, and I think a combination of between like Suicide Squad and then going to see Southland Tales and then talking to Henry, and Henry was like, yeah, like he'd gone to see Sausage Party, Sausage Fest, Sausage Party, and he was like, I didn't really like it, and I just got into this funk where I would like Saturday morning I woke up and I was like, I don't want to go be frustrated by a movie. Like, I want to go watch something charming. So I texted Rafe, who I had talked to the night before, and was like, hey, do you want to just go see Pete's Dragon instead? And he was like, sure, why not? I think I saw Pete's Dragon, the original, maybe once when I was a kid. So it wasn't like it was fresh in my mind. But I thought, like, hey, Jungle Book was really awesome. Love Cinderella. Like, why not give this thing a shot? And I thought the trailers were pretty good. So Pete's Dragon, I won't waste too much time, but tells the story of a kid who, in the opening scene of the movie, which is maybe the one reason to not go see this movie if you have little kids, like you totally shouldn't probably take Kendall, and I wouldn't tell my niece to go, is this little boy who's about 4 is in the back seat, and a deer runs out into the, like, it's this adorable scene with him and his parents, and like his parents are so loving and wonderful, and they're talking about how like he doesn't know what the word adventure means. He's reading this book and he doesn't know what the word adventure means, and his dad explains adventure to him and then tells him, like, you know, if you're on an adventure, you really you got to be brave. And then a deer runs out in the middle of the street and the car wrecks and turns over, and then you have this scene where like this little boy, you're hearing him like crying, and he gets out of the car and like you know that his parents are dead, and he packs like his backpack with the stuff he had in the car and walks out into the woods. Jeez. And you're like, holy fuck. And then he gets like hunted by wolves for a little while until Elliot, the dragon, shows up and chases off the wolves. And you have this really adorable scene where Elliot comes in and has saved him, and the kid asks him if he's going to eat him, and Elliot doesn't talk in this movie, and or thankfully sing, and he just like pushes his backpack back to the kid. He picks it up, and then he like puts his paw down, and the kid gets up in his paw, and he just like holds the kid super tight to his chest and flies off. And you're like, holy shit! Like this is terrible.
Shit just got real.
And then 6 years passed, and he. Pete, the little boy, has now turned into the little boy from Room, where his hair is super long and ungangly, and he's living in the woods with his dragon that can turn invisible. And then Bryce Dallas Howard shows up, and her dad is Robert Redford, and he's like,
cute.
yeah, and he tells stories.
He's handsome.
He's amazing. He's not in the movie enough, but he tells like neighborhood kid stories about this time that he ran into a dragon in the woods, and he like carves dragon into wood, like into wood statues or whatever. And then she, like, long story short, there's guys who are cutting down the woods, like a classic 70s Disney animated movie where the woods are always in trouble. So they sort of stumble into the area where Elliot and Pete live. And of course, you know, then Pete goes with the humans for a couple days, and it sort of breaks Elliot's heart, and they have to figure out how to reconcile, because part of the story that's going on is like Elliot is clearly just as lost as Pete is, and so it's really about how do these two people find their family again, and it's just adorable and charming, and there's some really badass scenes where like Pete is in town and he escapes and he's like jumping up onto the top of like school buses.
Parkour.
And, yeah. Oh yeah. He parkours off of one school bus and onto like a truck, and you're like, this kid is 10, but it's cool. He just needs a mommy. So yeah, I thought it was really enjoyable, and it's very on the nose, and at times emotionally manipulative. But I think most of the performances are really great, and Karl Urban is pretty fun, because Karl Urban plays like the mean guy who cuts down all the trees, and he just wants to catch the dragon.
It's probably some Republican.
Whoa. And then of course, it's a good Disney movie, so he's got to learn by the end, like, oh, the dragon is good, and maybe I should leave it alone. So yeah, it's really great. And of course, Robert Redford is Robert Redford, man. He's really good. So yeah, I thought it was worth it. So
cool.
Good on them.
The rest of us saw Sausage Party. Zach, should people see Sausage Party?
Yeah, sure. It was fun.
Glowing endorsement, Zach Eastman. Yeah, sure, why not? What the fuck else are you going to do?
Right.
Brad, should people go see Sausage Party?
Yeah, it's fun. I feel like there's something missing from it. Like, yeah, I don't know. I can't quite place my finger on it. It's just something didn't quite add up. I'm thinking maybe it's, well, we'll talk about it in detail.
Cool.
It's kind of spoilery.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. There's some funny parts. You don't have to rush out and see it. I think you can rent it. But I mean, I did laugh at some parts. I think Kristen Wiig was really good in it. Yep. Here's a trailer for Sausage Party.
Welcome, shoppers.
Ketchup, mustard, sausages and buns.
I can't be everything you want me to be. I can't be.
Denim Straight Boys! Hey, look at this! We've got one!
Yes! We're chosen!
Pick us!
Yes!
Yeah!
We've been chosen together!
Hey, Brenda, you and me.
I'm so happy the gods put our packages together.
It's because we belong together.
It's like we were made for each other.
Get ready, boys!
Feels amazing.
Oh, yes! I'm the first to enter eternity.
Oh, Potato! Way to go, buddy!
The pipes are coming. Oh, Jesus, me eyes! Oh, God, me skin! She's peeling me skin!
Oops.
They're eating children! It's just children!
So, you have learned the terrible truth.
I gotta tell everyone. Everything we believe is a lie.
What if the gods are doing this to us because we touched hips?
Wasn't even that. I mean, it was fine. It's not like anyone writes home and says, "Oh God, I had the best tip."
Shake what your mama
Run,
gave
guys,
you.
run!
That's behavior. Overstated.
Hey, I am sorry. I accidentally dropped a few things back there.
Hey! I'm gonna fix you. I'm gonna fix this.
Welcome, shoppers.
Ketchup, mustard, sausages and buns.
I can't be everything you want me to be. I can't be.
Denim Straight Boys! Hey, look at this! We've got one!
Yes! We're chosen!
Pick us!
Yes!
Yeah!
We've been chosen together.
Hey, Brenda, you and me.
I'm so happy the gods put our packages together.
It's because we belong together.
It's like we were made for each other.
Get ready, boys!
Feels amazing.
Oh, yes! I'm the first to enter eternity.
Oh, Potato! Way to go, buddy!
the pipes are coming. Oh, Jesus, fuck! Oh, gummy skin! She's peeling me fucking stuff! Fuck!
Oops.
They're eating children! Fucking children!
So, you have learned the terrible truth.
I gotta tell everyone.
No one will believe you.
I have to try. Everyone will die otherwise.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Fuck me, right?
Shake with your
Run for your fucking lives!
behavior. Overstated. Everywhere I go for the D-O-double-G.
Once you see that shit, it'll fuck you up for life. Good luck. Have fun.
I mean, the trailer pretty much tells you all you need to know about the movie. Food thinks they're going to go to the great beyond, and they look at humans as gods, and when they're selected, then they go to the great beyond, and it's going to be wonderful. Then they find out that it's not. They get murdered and killed and eaten. Yeah. And that's the whole premise of the movie. And it's also about wanting to hook up. Like the first 5 or 10 minutes is Seth Rogen and Kristen Wiig talking about when they get out of their wrappers, what they're going to do to each other. and they do just the tip. It's funny.
Just the tip.
Yeah. I think like right out of the gate, it's so raunchy that there's nowhere to build to.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it just kind of is on a steady plateau. Of,
It just like starts at 11 and then it just stays there.
yeah,
it's
it
funny
rarely
'cause-
does it go down or up.
Yeah, there's parts. Like I remember, there's really clever parts in it, but I can't remember them.
Yeah, it's really fast paced and the jokes are rapid fire, but like like the raunchiness is at a steady, except for the very end where it just like suddenly goes to a 400.
Is that when the orgy happens?
The orgy scene, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But like, so that's like, so that the humor's super even. So the more interesting arc is the actual tearing down of religion that it does.
Okay.
Wait, you think the orgy scene is where they turned it up to 400?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was the decapitated head that turned it up to 400 for me and kept it there the rest of the time.
That was fine. Like,
I'm like, oh my god, they killed him. Then they just reveal it's like one happy accident, but still, I was just like, there's a severed CGI head in front of me right now.
if there's like a blood splatter like coming out of it constantly and like his eyes sunken and his brain rolled out, yeah, probably. But it was basically like a dummy head to me, so it wasn't that shocking. I mean, it was odd.
It has a really good premise. The problem is that I don't think it is confident enough in itself to be its premise, so therefore it relies on its jokes more so than its plot sometimes. But that's just me.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Because
the scene with
they're on this verge of this great like religious allegory, and then but it's overwhelmed by how many jokes can we make about food.
Yeah, but the thing with the severed head didn't do anything for me because Michael Cera's performance there was really funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where he's like, "Oh yeah, he's dead. He's fucking stupid." Let me tell you how he died.
To figure out it was him.
Like I said, there's really clever moments in this movie, but I can't remember them because I think you're right. I think the opening just was so hit.
And then it opens with this big musical number, so it's like
by Alan Menken. So
yeah, it's really big out of the gate, and then it's like all the characters like swear constantly, like it's fuck this, fuck that shit. So no one really has like a different way of speaking, except maybe Kristen Wiig's probably a little more chaste.
She kind of reminds me of her character though from MacGruber, where she just sings random things.
She's really naive.
Yeah.
Well, I guess all the characters are really naive until like Danny McBride is.
Danny McBride was great. He was probably my favorite. The honey mustard
Yeah.
guy. He's like, you're just getting cummed in your face, and your eyes, and you can't see anymore, you motherfuckers.
Just like this is the end.
Yeah. He's basically just being this is the end guy.
But then at that point, I was like, I know that he's going to fall off and explode and hit the
Yeah.
ground. It's like going to kick off this thing. And yeah, that you kind of saw in the trailer where they do the Saving Private Ryan D-Day.
Yeah.
Omaha
The
Beach
Oreo
thing.
picking
Yeah.
his back up. No, PB and J, and PB is holding J, the dead jelly in his hands, going
Yeah.
like, "I'll make it better. I'll make it better."
The can of soup's trying to pull all his noodles back into his stomach.
I mean, there's some pretty clever moments. And
the thing I didn't see coming was that the villain is literally a douche.
Yeah, he's literally a douche.
And I was sitting there the whole time trying to figure out like
I'm
who all these
feeling
voices
jacked.
are. Yeah. Do I just want to get up in there,
drinking
bro?
Nothing but tequila and Red Bull.
I suck some juice box's dick. Literally
Yeah.
a bottle of douche.
And a lot of time, I was just sitting there thinking, like, whose voice is this?
Yeah.
Until like the very end, thankfully they.
It was Nick
And
Kroll.
I didn't know who it was too, and then they put it towards the end. I'm like, that sounds like Nick Kroll.
Yeah, and I was blown away by Bill Hader. Was like those other two characters, Firewater and
Firewater and the tequila.
Yeah. It's like, wow, I didn't like he would disguise it so well. And Craig
Yeah.
Robinson was the grits.
Yeah, he didn't even sound like Craig Robinson.
Yeah.
Though.
His moment during the orgy was fucking hilarious. Where he just starts
Take it all,
fucking
you fucking crackers. It's funny.
I was pretty impressed how many food puns they got out of that movie.
Yeah, I was. My favorite food puns were if you looked at the wrappers and stuff for the foods were really clever.
Yeah.
I can't remember them because there's so many of it, but yeah. So it's
And-
funny.
and how they get all the humans to eat bath salts.
Yep.
And the bath salts triggers them to be able to see their food world.
Yeah.
It freaks them out.
I don't know. Maybe there are a couple moments where this movie goes up to 400 and then just dips down a little bit, but then it pops back up to 400. Because when I heard bath salts, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And then James Franco was funny as the drug dealer, or the druggie.
Yeah.
I guess I should say. But I don't know. Like, I guess I was hoping that this film would be like some kind of like breakthrough, and it wasn't. So it was just kind of there for me. But it was still fun.
Yeah, I had fun. Like I said, I don't think you need to rush out and see. I think you can rent it.
Yeah.
And then yeah, it was funny.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next week, are we seeing a movie? Or are we just doing our...
Kubo.
It's Kubo or War Dogs.
Yeah.
Kubo.
Okay. So next week
I'm
we're
gonna
seeing
go-
a movie,
I'll
and we
probably
also
go-
have a...
It's up to you guys. I will probably go see both of them. So
we also have a special Real Nerds podcast next week as well.
What?
well, hopefully it'll come out next week. However soon we can get it. We're definitely recording something really
Yeah,
special next
we're,
week.
we're recording something special next week, so we'll let you know when it's done.
Stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for that.
What are we doing the week after that? Because maybe we should start. Are we going to do Film Explosion 2006 for these upcoming September weekends that are?
We can.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I want to see Don't Breathe after next week. So
Which
I
one
mean,
is that?
That's the Fede Alvarez one, who did Evil Dead. It's the guy who can't see, and they're in the house, and he's killing them.
Okay, sure.
I want to see that one.
I'll go watch Kubo again. Oh, I'm sure it's great. This is not me being a stinker. I'm sure it's great. You'll have to go see it and then tell me whether I'll like it.
Sounds good.
I'll have to trust you on that one.
Cool.
So get your list together if you want to participate in Film Explosion 2006.
But there will be a Film Explosion 2006 coming up very soon. So stay tuned for that. Zach, you were quiet today.
Just listening to you guys.
I know, we're so entranced.
Did you defend the shadow while I was gone?
I did defend a shadow while you were gone.
And I still,
Defend it against somebody who loves it.
and I still think it's a piece of shit. Bye.
Oh.
Bye.
Bye.
Real Nerds is a Nebulous Visions multimedia production. We would also like to thank Sparks Mandrill for our music. Additional music from Ben Sounds. Thank you to Alamo Drafthouse. Thank you to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics. And thank you for listening to the Real Nerds Podcast.